A night of chaos, sirens screaming across southern Israel, and then impact. In the city of Arad, a powerful Iranian ballistic missile tears into a residential building, turning a quiet Saturday night into a scene of devastation. The explosion sends shockwaves through the neighborhood. Windows shatter, debris flies, and within moments, emergency crews are racing against time. At least 88 people are wounded. Among them, a 5-year-old child fighting for life. 10 victims are reported in serious condition, dozens more moderately injured, and many left in shock, trembling from the trauma of a direct hit that Israel's air defenses failed to stop. Ambulances and helicopters rushed the wounded to Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba, where a mass casualty emergency was declared. Blood banks are activated. Medical teams work relentlessly. The system is pushed to its limits. And yet, miraculously, Israel says no one is trapped beneath the rubble. Officials say those who followed safety protocols and stayed inside shelters survived the blast unharmed, a chilling reminder of how close this came to becoming even deadlier. But the questions are growing louder. How did this missile get through? The Israeli Air Force has now launched an urgent investigation into what went wrong. Early assessments suggest the Iranian missile carried a conventional warhead packed with hundreds of kilograms of explosives, nothing unfamiliar, yet devastatingly effective. Another strike in nearby Dimona earlier the same day adds to the trending picture. Multiple impacts, dozens more casualties, and a defense system under scrutiny.
So far, over 35 casualties with varying degrees of severity have arrived at the hospital. A 12-year-old child was severely injured and has now been transferred to the operating room for further treatment. Another injured person in his 20s sustained moderate injuries, and all other casualties with minor injuries or anxiety are currently being treated in Soroka's emergency room.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it a very difficult evening in the battle for our future, vowing that Israel will continue striking its enemies on all fronts. As fear spreads, restrictions tighten. Public gatherings are now limited. Schools across the country are shut. Entire regions are on edge, bracing for what may come next. The Home Front Command remains on high alert. Rescue teams still combing through damaged sites, investigators searching for answers, and a nation holding its breath. Because tonight proved one thing with terrifying clarity. Even the strongest defenses like the Iron Dome can fail, and when they do, the consequences are immediate, explosive, and deeply human.
Urgent developments from southern Israel. Dimona, one of the country's most sensitive locations, has come under missile attack, with dramatic visuals capturing the moment of impact. Videos circulating on social media appear to show a powerful explosion as a missile strikes the ground, sending debris and smoke into the air. The footage remains unverified but has rapidly spread online. Open-source intelligence accounts are suggesting that the missile may have struck a bomb shelter in the Dimona area, raising questions about the intended target. Some assessments indicate that the site lies close to Israel's highly guarded nuclear facility in Dimona, prompting speculation about whether the strike was aimed at sensitive or strategic infrastructure. Israeli reports say the attack caused significant destruction in the area, with the number of injured rising to at least 23. Emergency teams have been deployed across multiple locations to assist the wounded. The Dimona region is home to the Shimon Peres Negev Nuclear Research Center, widely believed to be central to Israel's nuclear program, making any strike in its vicinity particularly alarming. Amid the escalation, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Aerospace Commander, Brigadier General Syed Majid Musavi, has claimed missile dominance over Israeli skies, signaling confidence in Tehran's ongoing campaign. He further warned that the skies over southern Israel would remain bright for hours, suggesting continued or sustained missile activity as the conflict intensifies. Incredible and dramatic visuals emerging at this hour appear to show a missile strike in Dimona, in southern Israel, a location of immense strategic sensitivity. Footage circulating online captures the moment a missile impacts the ground, with another angle suggesting a possible interception attempt just seconds before the strike hit the area. Emergency response teams were quickly deployed to multiple locations in Dimona, where several people were reported injured in the aftermath of the strike. According to Israel's Magen David Adom, at least 20 people were injured in the attack, including a 10-year-old boy and a 40-year-old woman. Additional patients are being treated for minor injuries and trauma-related symptoms. The strike has drawn particular attention due to Dimona's proximity to one of Israel's most sensitive installations, the Shimon Peres Negev Nuclear Research Center. Located in the Negev Desert, the Dimona facility is widely believed to be at the core of Israel's nuclear program, despite being officially described as a research center. It remains one of the most heavily guarded sites in the country. The latest developments come amid escalating tensions following reported attacks on Iran's Natanz nuclear facility, raising fears that critical nuclear-linked sites on both sides are increasingly becoming part of the conflict's expanding battlefield. Fresh fears are emerging over nuclear safety as Iran's key facilities come under renewed attack. Iran's Natanz nuclear enrichment facility has reportedly been targeted again in a U.S.-Israeli airstrike. The report, carried by Iran's Tasnim news agency, says the attack took place earlier today. Iranian authorities have strongly condemned the strike, calling it criminal. They accuse the United States and what they termed the usurping Zionist regime of violating international law. Officials say the attack is contrary to global commitments surrounding nuclear safety and security. Despite the strike, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization has issued a crucial assurance. It says no leakage of radioactive material has been detected at the Natanz complex. Authorities also stress that there is no immediate danger to residents living nearby. Natanz remains Iran's primary uranium enrichment site and a critical part of its nuclear program. This is not the first time the facility has been hit during the ongoing conflict. In the early days of the war, satellite imagery showed significant damage to several buildings. At that time, the UN nuclear watchdog reported no radiological consequences from the strike. The facility is located about 220 kilometers southeast of Tehran. It has also been targeted in previous confrontations, including the 2025 Iran-Israel conflict. Meanwhile, concerns are rising over another sensitive nuclear site in Iran. New high-resolution imagery shows a projectile impact near the Bushehr nuclear power reactor. The images reveal damage just 350 meters from the core of the facility. Experts say the debris pattern raises serious questions about the origin of the strike. Notably, the trajectory appears to point north, away from the Persian Gulf. This has intensified speculation and concern over how close the strike came to a nuclear disaster. The situation has triggered alarm among global nuclear authorities. UN nuclear chief Rafael Grossi has urged all sides to exercise maximum restraint. He has called for transparency, communication, and strict avoidance of nuclear targets. There are also growing calls for coordination with Russia to prevent further escalation. As tensions continue to rise, the risks surrounding nuclear facilities are becoming increasingly severe. The world is now watching closely as the conflict edges toward a dangerous new threshold.